Greetings, hello ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be taking a look at the PNSO Indosuchus, named Aishwarya. Aishwarya, I think that's how you say that, I'm not sure. So anyway, here it is. And here's another. And here's another. And you're probably saying to yourself, SpinoDude, why in the world do you have 3 of the PNSO Indosuchus? And the answer is because my friend Aydin, aka Kikizilla, actually bought these 3 and sent them over to me about a year ago, a little over a year ago. And he was going to commission me to repaint these for a project that he was working on, but I think that kind of just fell through, so now I'm stuck with 3 PNSO Indosuchus. So thank you, Aydin. So I did some brief research on Indosuchus because this figure from PNSO is actually my introduction to this genus as a whole. And just by looking at this figure, I actually assumed it was a tyrannosaur of some kind, but turns out it's an abelisaur, so it's related to like Carnotaurus, Majungasaurus, and Rugops. And right off the bat, I can just say that this sculpt does not do a good job of portraying an abelisaurid. But first of all, if my camera will focus, there we go. Let's actually move a couple of them off to the side. You can see that the head is quite elongated and it really has that tyrannosaur shape to it. As you know, abelisaurids had very short skulls for the most part. And from what I saw from the fossil material, from what we have of Indosuchus, it does appear off of a few reconstructions I've seen that it's at least inferred that Indosuchus had a slightly longer snout than other abelisaurs. But then the other thing that really stands out to me are the arms. Abelisaurids had vestigial arms, so they basically just had these little nubs with some blunt fingers on the end that were held very close to the body and are thought to have been basically useless limbs. And this figure portrays Indosuchus with longer arms. They do exhibit the 4 fingers, which is a common trait amongst abelisaurs, but other than that, this figure just gives off a very sleek sort of tyrannosaurid look. The detail is okay, and there is some shrink wrapping, whoopsie, on the face a little bit, which is kind of common for PNSO, to be honest. There are some wrinkles and folds in the skin, but the detail is nothing to write home about. But what does stand out to me is the coloration, and the coloration does seem to change a little bit in between figures. You can see the one in the middle is much more yellow, this one is much more green in some areas, this one over here is more turquoise, which I find very interesting. But the colors are really nice. Blue and turquoisey colors especially are my favorite colors, which is why my channel is branded in an entire blue theme. So I really dig the colors on these little guys, and the pose is also quite nice as well. They almost look like hatchlings, which I think is great because they could easily be repainted and retooled to be used in a variety of different settings like photography or other projects you're working on, dioramas, etc., and they have a fairly generic theropod look to them. But anyway, I do think that sums up all my thoughts on this one. Overall, it doesn't look like a great representation of an abelisaur or Indosuchus as a whole, but it's still a nice little figure as like a generic theropod thing, and I do like the sort of sitting pose, it's quite charming. And in case you're wondering how large these little guys are, they come in at about 3 inches long, which is about 7 centimeters in terms of the height. The highest point, which is the top of the head, we are looking at about 1 3/4 inches, which is about 4 centimeters. And for farther size measurement or comparison or whatever, here is PNSO's Tracy, the Nemicolopterus, currently my favorite mini from them. And they are obviously not in scale with each other because Nemicolopterus was an absolutely tiny pterosaur, but Tracy is a popular figure, so any of you that have it can get an idea of how big these Indosuchus are. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you liked, and I'll see you all in my next video. So take care, and bye-bye.